Welcome to the full-length conversation with Tanner Wilks, former missionary that served in Tacoma, Washington, as well as in the small country of Suriname. He is a talented filmmaker that made some stunning videos on the mission that have inspired thousands of people, myself included. If you're into making videos, I think you'll find some gold nugget takeaways from what he has to share. Friendly reminder that these interviews aren't trimmed to keep your attention, so feel free to listen on 1.5 or 2 times speed. Without further ado, here's the conversation. Everybody, this is Tanner Wilks, the absolute legend. We literally just met a couple weeks ago, but I've seen your videos. Super epic videographer, cinematographer, everything. How did you start making videos? Were you a kid?
Yeah. I feel like everybody kind of has a similar story. Little twist on so naturally made videos as a kid with my siblings, trampoline videos, zombie videos, whatever we wanted to do. But the difference that really helped me was my dad had access to Adobe Premiere Pro as a software and said, "Hey, you should use this." And I said, "Why would I use that? I want to use iMovie. That's so much simpler." And he said, "Well, there's slow-mo on this." I think there was slow-mo on iMovie, but I just didn't know how to use it. And so I started using Premiere for 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
For every project I did. And so I just got really, really familiar with it. So by the time senior year came along, I just had to figure out how an actual DSLR worked rather than using my little Sony camcorder. And that wasn't too bad. And I felt like I already had developed an eye for how things should look. So that helped out a lot. And then just went crazy with it senior year, sports, whatever else I could film at the school, commercials, all that.
That's so fun. I love it. I feel like the eye for filming honestly just comes from repetition. It's reps. And just watching movies and videos, just like videos that you admire and want to make videos like, just watch them, play them frame by frame, and you'll learn the composition. Like everyone, you can watch a few videos on like rule of thirds and stuff like that. And we are going to teach a little bit about that in this 30 days. We're not going to spend a bunch of time on it, but it's like, it's good to know the basics. But then at the end of the day, it's just putting those reps in, and then eventually you'll get it.
Absolutely. One thing that honestly helped me a lot thinking about it was I would just lay with some music and just visualize constantly. Like as a kid, like when I was going to bed, I'd put on some Hans Zimmer soundtrack and just make a movie in my head. And I swear that that helped develop my eyes so much for how things should look. And also just I feel like was a good creative exercise.
Oh, I love that.
And it's just really fun.
I was on a run yesterday. I've always not only listened to non-copyrighted music, but for a long time of my life, I just listened to royalty-free music or stuff that I could license,
That's smart, honestly.
And so I always just listened to that. And so my friends would always be playing Post Malone, and I just wouldn't know any of the words. I'm like, dude, I feel like the biggest nerd here because I'm listening to first off, it was NCS. That's what I first got hooked on.
Yeah.
And then it gets better. Obviously, NCS is the beginning. I am just realizing that the battery of my audio just died. I think one of my favorite videos that I saw from the Washington Tacoma mission is that epic Book of Mormon video. Tell us a little bit about how that got created.
It's so hard for me to remember where an idea began exactly, because I was really lucky to be surrounded by, we had a team out there of not just there was my companionship of 4 missionaries. There was 4 of us making the videos, but then there was 4 of the missionaries working on ads and social media, and they would always come to us with ideas. And I can't remember if this was one of their ideas or whatever, but we just wanted this video of the Book of Mormon just being passed around, just showing it very trendy, eye-catching, just getting people's attention, and then revealing later that's the Book of Mormon after showing a lot of the things that kind of come from it. And so naturally watched some Daniel Schiffer, got inspired.
Yes.
Yep. With that transition game and whatnot. And yeah, a lot of it too was finding the song, how to find the song that just fit right for it. And that was able to put it all together between what transitions we wanted and what we wanted to really show off, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to remember exactly how it all came together, but it really just started with the idea of pass the Book of Mormon around, reveal it at the very end, what it is after showing off how excited people are by it. That was the main gist.
I love it. No, that's so sick. That's so cool. Daniel Schiffer, absolute legend. I love the taking ideas from different creators and applying it to this. Now, I guess going on to, because we can talk about content creation all day. I think we're both really into that. But content creation in itself it needs to have it needs to be the means to an end, not the end itself. Like if you just create content and it gets lots of views, but you don't really have like maybe a call to action at the end, or if there's not any like purpose to it, it can kind of just end up being a time using thing that isn't the most productive thing that you could be doing.
Like you compare it is like how many TikToks actually like call you to action? You know, you just keep swiping, keep swiping. Maybe you're like, oh, that looks like something cool. Maybe I'll try that or whatever, you know. But like, there's no call to action in it, and that's why it's pretty mindless content a lot of the time. And so, with this one specifically, yeah, we wanted to hook people, and then at the very end, show us the Book of Mormon and tell them you can get a copy from us. Like, message us, get a free copy. Plain and simple. Don't need anything more. Don't need anything less.
I love that. That's awesome. Have you ever had any experiences of people that like reached out to you about that, or?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the place where we saw the most success in terms of people reaching out was actually down in Suriname. I used some of my videos from Washington back down in Suriname and just translated them, just did different things like that. And a lot of people down there would reach out pretty quickly from the ads that we would run. Ads seemed to be really effective. In Washington, comment sections were always kind of a rough area. Some people would be like, oh, this is cool. And other people would be like, oh, let me tell you everything I know from reading one article about the church. You know? And so it's a little bit harder in there. But when you had a way where people could message you directly, that's where we saw the most like actual like progressive interactions. I didn't see a whole lot of that, and not saying it wasn't there, but I just didn't work on that side of it. I kind of just delivered the videos. But from the sounds of it, like that was one of the most engaging videos. There was a lot of messaging that happened on that end. It is hard though, because sometimes you don't always get people in your area.
Oh, that is the hardest thing about social media is it opens up the whole world. I made a video of me like backflipping over a car and handing someone a copy of the Book of Mormon. Got like millions of views. And I got messages from all over the world, but like there's a guy literally in Japan that asked for a copy of the Book of Mormon because he saw this kid backflipping over a car, handing someone a book. And he's like, I want one of those, you know? And so I gave you some of that. And so, and it worked. Got set up with lessons and everything. He was in college. It was crazy. It was like, that's awesome. So I love it. Social media is cool. Is there anything else? Honestly, I think that's the main stuff that I wanted to hit on was like content creation, content that has a call to action.
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to share specifically that just came to mind when you were talking about all this. So one of my favorite videos I got the chance to make was one down in Suriname. And this was one where we like weren't really sure like what was the motive behind it, but we definitely felt like inspired to do it. And obviously that was the spirit at work there, like telling us like, hey, make this video. And so we had our neighbor in our apartment who was a member, and his name is Bruder Jay, great guy. We're like, we want to make a feature video of him, you know, to show what his life is like, kind of make it, you know, sleek and nice and show, you know, just like how he's kind of turned his life around thanks to the church and whatnot. Really simple, did not get that many views at all. Like, I mean, it was hard to pass things around down in Suriname and whatnot. But what happened was his wife wasn't a member, and she was always on the fence for like, I don't even know how long she had been coming to church. She knew the doctrine better than a lot of members down there, to say the least. And after that video, Jay said she watched it, and then she said right after that, like, okay, I'm ready. And so sometimes like the video is it's just meant for one person, you know? And like what was really cool about that, obviously like we wanted like a call to action, and like we had that in the description in the video and whatnot. But it's just so cool to see how like showing videos of like people that it naturally like the spirit can give that invitation at times. So obviously we want to do our part there. I don't know. It was really cool and really inspiring to see how just like one little video could just was what we needed to teach her, because we taught her a lot and it wasn't really going anywhere, but the video was just what needed to get done.
Dude, I love that. I think that is the total link between videos. I think content creation with a purpose is what seals the deal with all of social media missionary work. If you had the mic to the world of all the missionaries, what would you say?
Don't worry about getting famous through your videos. Just think about the one. Think about what you would want to see, what would inspire you, you know, help you change your life. We've all seen videos that have changed our lives. So get out there and go make it. Don't worry about it being perfect, because, well, he'll take care of the rest.
Mic drop. That was perfect. I love it. Dude, you're a legend. Thank you so much for hopping on.